So now I will say this. So going on to the Rams. The Rams were supposed to be the Bucks. The Bucks weren't supposed to win. If you watching the Bucks for the past 2 years, the Bucks basically like I'm not. I'll have a whole segment. I'll actually have a whole segment on why I think the Bucks team was defense is great, but why the Bucks scraped away games. Their defense allowed Tom Brady to do so much this year. I'm not going to get too much on Tom Brady. I think he's a great player. I think it's trendy. A lot of people are just like calling people the GOAT these days. I mean, LeBron James called Alex Russo the GOAT. So you, just like you, everyone else out here, y'all just call Tom Brady the GOAT, the GOAT, the GOAT. Like, please stop riding people. Like, it's the worst thing. Like, you guys are the same people that call people your brother and you just met them, right? So, like, I have two brothers and I don't have any brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't call random people brothers. I don't have any brothers. But Tom Brady, once again, he was gifted multiple opportunities. Just like last year, the defense got 3 picks for him for the Saints. Started like three possessions on the Saints sideline. He threw like 3 picks against Green Bay. That defense is one of the best defenses I think I've seen, in a while. And, when your defense is getting you the ball back, of course it looks good. Of course you're going to look good. The more possessions, more opportunities you get, of course you're going to look good. The better field position, of course you're going to look good. So the defense got them back in the game. It wasn't Tom Brady. People like to say it's Tom Brady because they like the story. It's trendy, right? Oh, Tom Brady almost brought them back. No, they didn't. That defense got them the ball back 3 times in the second half. And I think on the second half, the 8 possessions or however many they had, I'll do like a fact checker or whatever, but they scored 4 times. And the Rams forgot how to play football in the second half. So I will say, actually, let me go back and see what the Rams did in the second half. Yeah, so the Rams scored 10 points in the second half. They were up, at one point. At one point in the game, they were up. Let me see if I can pull this up here. At one point in the game, they were up 27-3, 28-3, almost like in the Super Bowl a couple of years back with the Falcons. But they were up 27-3. In the third quarter, with 7 minutes left, 20, you're up you're up 27-3 by 24 points. The game's just about over. You're not playing serious. And I think that's to do a lot with coaching. When you get on top of somebody and you're beating them that bad, you got to put the foot on your neck. You got to take them out. You got to make sure you annihilate them and finish them off. The Rams have a knack for letting the team, and just most teams, sometimes they just let teams get back in the game. You got to don't play conservative. And I hope coaches learn from that. Don't play conservative. Get after it. So I will say that 7 minutes left in the second half. So basically, you have about 21 minutes left in the game. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have about 21 minutes, 22 minutes left in the game. This game is pretty much practically over. Now, what does Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, what do they get with that? What kind of opportunities they get? So after the last scoring drive that made it 27-3, right? The Bucs went field goal, touchdown, fumble, downs, touchdown, right? So we have how many possessions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 possessions in the second half, which is pretty solid, right? 7 possessions in the second half. The touchdown 7 play, 30 yards. They started inside. So what did the Rams do after they scored 27-3? They did fumble, punt, fumble, missed field goal, punt, fumble, field goal. So if you look at the Rams, like, that's not Tom Brady, right? So they have a 1-play drive or whatever, right? They fumble. They're in the Rams almost the red zone. They score. Bucs scored seven in 7 plays. Then you got the next series. This is not Tom Brady, right? This is the defense. The next possession they get, 3 plays, 0 yards, 31 seconds. Then, hey, you know what? They fumble. Tom Brady gets sacked. He's strip sacked by Von Miller. Von Miller picks it up. They get it, right? So 27-13, they get the ball back, and Stafford then he fumbles it. So Stafford gets it, and then he fumbles, right? So now the defense got Tom Brady 2 extra possessions they would have never had, right? Then what do? They get Tom Brady the ball back. What does he do? 5 plays, 9 yards, turnover on downs, right? Tom Brady loses the ball, gives the ball up again, still 27-13. Now, you got to think about this. They get this drive. They get the drive. The Rams get the drive back with 12 minutes left. They're up 27-13. So all they have to do is have a sustainable drive, right? So they go down, they get in the field goal range, and what happens? Matt Gay or whatever the kicker Gay, he shanks. He's short a 47-yard field goal. He looked real confused. I don't like it when kickers look confused after they botch a kick. So they go down and do that. The next play, right? So check this out, right? So they go down, they miss a field goal. There's 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. You're down by 2 touchdowns. All right? The idea is, hey, we don't want Tom Brady to get the ball back. Then what happens? Tom Brady gets the ball back, right? 27-13. They missed a field goal. They got momentum. They're at home. The crowd's behind them. And then what happens? 6 plays, 32 yards, turnover on downs. I'm telling you, it's not Tom Brady. It's the opportunities he gets. The opportunities he gets, it comes from the defense, right? So they on downs. Now, check this out. 4 minutes and 26 seconds left. The Rams have the ball. This is not Tom Brady. 3 plays, 3 yards. 30 seconds. All right, they punt the ball. Another opportunity for Tom Brady. And then what happens? Jalen Ramsey falls asleep. Now, if you watch the route and you watch what Jalen Ramsey's doing, I understand how he's playing him. And they talked about they did shift the defense because Scotty Miller was eating him up, and he is a deep threat. He does stretch the field. And this is where, I hate to say it, Antonio Brown was right. I'll get to that. But this is where Scotty Miller was stretching the field. I got to look at the All-22. I don't have my hands on the All-22 yet. I get it tomorrow. But where they somewhat shifted the defense, and I don't know if they did, but basically Ramsey had man coverage. He had pretty much Evans one-on-one. The challenge was it's a great route by Evans. It's late in the game. They need to catch something, get out of bounds. Ideally, he's not thinking he gets deep. My sister could have made this throw, and she weighs about maybe 100 pounds. She could have made this throw. My son could have made this throw. Evans goes on the out route. Since Ramsey felt like he had position, he kind of settled down a little bit. Okay, look, I'm gonna go on this out route. And then what did Evans do? He put his foot in the dirt and went straight upfield. So when he went straight upfield, he has separation. Ramsey doesn't locate the ball. It gets over his head. He's mad at himself. Big laps by Ramsey. But even so, still, it's, when that happens, it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, and you're still down a touchdown, and you have one of the best, you have weapons and everything you want on offense. So what do? What do the Rams do? They come down, they fumble. Cam Akers, who fumbled earlier in the game, obviously can't hold on to the rock, fumbles. Not Tom Brady, the defense. They come down, they score, right? We glorify Brady, right? We come down, we score, we glorify Brady. Great, the GOAT, right? We want to hype him up, right? Because it's trendy. And then what happens next? Clark Stafford comes down. Cooper Kupp, oh man, he's tough. I've been watching him all year. I really like how they hide Cooper Kupp and figure out ways for him to get open and figure out ways to get him the matchups that he wants. You can't. It's not somebody you can't double team Cooper Kupp. You can't. You can't necessarily completely shift the defense to him because you have a weapon like OBJ. That was a great pickup by the Rams. Great trade, just getting OBJ because that's going to help them as they get deeper in the playoffs. I think OBJ is just starting to really kind of come downhill with this injury that he's had. ACL injuries, psychological from a psychological standpoint, they're hard to get over. I tore two of mine, so I know. But I think with OBJ, I think what's great and what has been great is he's able to. You have to take him in consideration, which is allows them to hide Cooper Cup a little bit more, and you can't double him because you always see him in some type of bunch. You always see him in some type of half split. You always see him out there with somebody maybe stacked, so you can't really key on him because you don't know where he's going. So I mean, McVay, hats off to your offense. Just creating opportunities for him to create, and Cooper Cup is taking advantage of it. The Rams, they get lazy in the second half. They have a tendency of doing that. They did that with the 49ers. So they're going to have to play football. They're going to play 60 minutes of football when they play the 49ers because the 49ers are coming. They're pissed off. And we've seen how good they get and how they pick up steam in the playoffs. So lastly, the Chiefs Bills games. And I did want to go back to the Bucs game. So Antonio Brown was the best thing that ever happened to the Bucs. And Antonio Brown being able to have that veteran experience, line him up multiple places. And I really thought that the Bucs were going to line Evans up and be creative with him. They did that last game. And of course, it's matchups. They did that last game when they beat us. They created matchups that were favorable for Evans. And I thought they were going to do that. Maybe that's something they saw. But I thought they were going to do that with the Rams a little bit more to help shift and move the defense. And create things and maybe get a matchup that he likes, that he can operate. Now I'll look at the film and see. I'm gonna look at the film and see, how many different spots he lined up, or was he just the X or simply the Z on each play. But Antonio Brown was integral for that defense. He was so important for that offense. Just having a veteran mind working with, it's like Welker, and Brady, Harrison and Manning. Having that type of relationship with someone can go so long, can go so far when it comes to the just being at their passing attack. So ball placement, knowing when to slide for a catch, knowing when to stop, back shoulders, like all of that is just, you see what happens with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, the connection they have. That connection can go far. Just having a vet like that, knowing certain things and seeing certain things, can go far. And I think Antonio Brown really made that offense as dynamic as it was been over the past couple of years. So losing Antonio Brown was big for them. So I did want to mention that.